Well, here's a fast bilge pump. Actually, I do have a bilge pump in it, but it broke. Actually had one, it's still in here. Had it set up for, you know, if you work it off electric, it'll come out here. But, when there's a lot of rain, you always get some water, accumulating inside the boat. So, but what I do is I just take a hose and, you can siphon it out. I use the metal end of the hose and just put it down in there. And so it's got some weight, So I'm going to have to get in here and, here's my radio down here too, see it? That thing is full as it's ever been. God. I don't remember it being this full, but it's been a lot of rain. I got to get the rest of the water out of here. And the trick to how I started off is I use the vacuum cleaner. I've been doing this for a few years now. I put this on the end of the hose. I stick that hose inside there, put my hand around that, and once it starts pumping out water, just let it go. Let it go. And if I got to redo it. Now, the beauty of this is that, I wouldn't do this with gasoline, but, you could probably do this with diesel fuel too. Because it's not, in other words, you wouldn't be putting the diesel fuel all the way through the vacuum cleaner. But, diesel fuel isn't like high ignition like gasoline or something. But, in other words, you just start it going. Now, me personally, I wouldn't recommend you doing this, but if I had to get some gasoline going, I would just use that thing instead of using my mouth, because as soon as you get it going, you don't want to have it pumping through the motor or nothing like that. You got to be kind of sketchy and really careful with it. But as soon as you still got a lot of hose to go through, But as soon as it pops out of there, you can almost hear it going glug glug, right? As soon as it hits the the hose there, you got it going. Because most of the time, these damn siphon pumps I have, they fall apart, man. That's why I don't use that crap anymore, man. I don't know if I have any in here left, but I had some in here, and they're probably around still. But the ball gets hard on them, and so the old school way is just take a hose and use your mouth, but you can't suction it out hard enough with your mouth versus that freaking 3.5 horsepower vacuum cleaner, whatever the hell this damn thing is. 5 horse, whatever. 5 horse. 5 peak horse. And so, with water, you're okay. With diesel fuel, you're not supposed to do that. You wouldn't be pulling the diesel fuel into there, but I wouldn't worry about the ignition. But still, even with gas, you're real careful just to get it going, where you wouldn't want to get it going in there. That'll start it, because that little nozzle here, the hose almost fits in there directly. And then if you have your hand around it like this, cupped around it, you got it'll create a good suction. And there's some more sprinkles coming down right now. I can feel it, even though it's sunny. It's sunny out there. I can feel some rain coming down. Anyway, I'm probably from this cloud over this way. But I got to get this boat drained out. So, anyway, I figured I'd post that. But that's how I always start draining the water. And, if you're real careful, you can do other liquids. Just make sure it don't go through the electric motor, because that motor is not made for that. I mean, it's less risky with diesel or kerosene, but gas, it would be very risky. But you can, if you got it just going, just enough to get it going where it's not going up in a hose, you'd be able to drain a gas tank like that too. Because I hate getting a mouthful of gasoline, and all those damn things that you have that drain the gasoline with the bulb and stuff. Like I said, I got loads of those. I got one with a hand crank. That one still works, actually. That was a made in USA one from the 1970s. Even though it's plastic, it still works, but it's very, very slow. But most of these things I got, they all fall apart. So, You know, a standard hose works great as long as you get that suction going, and that gets the suction going fast. With water, it's 100% safe. Other liquids, it's not so safe, but in an emergency, you know, if you're real careful, you got a long amount of hose here before it gets sucked up in the air. So as you just freaking see it going, you know, let it go. You know, if it's a flammable or semi-flammable liquid, I don't want to tell you what to do. I mean, seeing that would be dangerous. That'd be something I would do in a pinch. But I probably need to get a pump that pumps gasoline or diesel or something like that, especially like gasoline. But when you're talking those kind of pumps, they're a lot of money, and if they sit around a long time, usually they get screwed up. So that always works, and your vacuum always works. So right now I'm just draining the bilge on the boat, and take an hour or so and it'll be empty. I'll go in there and clean the rest of it out, but we're getting a lot of rain. That's why this thing has never been that full, I don't think, but it's getting empty now.